Hey guys, welcome to the Cultivate Her podcast. This is a podcast where you can tap into your purpose and be your true self, girl. I am your host, Christina Nelson, and my other host,
Jenny Boo. What's going on, y'all?
yes, and you are listening to Cultivate Her. Welcome.
Welcome.
Yes, we came here to cultivate your life, all right? All the way up. We leveling all the way up out here in these streets, okay? So I wanted to talk to you guys because I just love me and I have a relationship with myself. And if anybody got a problem with that, they can kick rocks.
Right?
I meant that too. I meant that to the fullest because if I don't love me, who will? If I don't take care of me, who will? If I ain't got me first, who will? It's just that simple, right? Mm-hmm. So I know all the time we always talk about love languages and we talk about love languages when it comes to a relationship with a partner. But today I want to hit y'all with the love languages with yourself. So we're calling it self-love languages, okay? So I wanted to know, Jen girl, do you know about love languages? Do you know what they are?
Yes. I mean, I feel like I have a understanding about what love languages are, but it's different when you think about a self-love language, right? So you got to really think about yourself and what you got to really tap into who you are to figure out what your own self-love language is, right? Because when we're in relationships, we put so much time and effort and energy into understanding the person that we're with and appeasing them, satisfying them. But how much energy are we putting into understanding our own? Mm-hmm. So this is going to be an interesting podcast.
It really is, girl. I'm so ready. So if you guys don't know what the love languages are, I'm just going to throw them out for you real quick. So there are 5 love languages. The first one is words of affirmation, physical touch, receiving gifts, quality time, and acts of service. Okay. Mm-hmm. Now they're pretty much self-explanatory, like by the title. So you don't really need acts of service. Is pretty much, doing something for that other person. But we're talking about self, so it would be the acts of service towards yourself, right? Mm-hmm. Physical touch, Lord.
Listen, I know all about the physical touch on self-love language, girl. Look.
All right, now, let's talk about it, girl. Now, let's be real. I don't know why I jumped there, but I wanted to jump right into it.
Yeah.
Let's talk about the physical touch, if that is your love language. Like, that's not my love language, but I could see how it could be a decent love language for someone if it is, right? Because, let's be real, ladies. All of us, we have this thing of pleasing other people, but let's talk about pleasing ourselves. Because I think that women more try to learn their bodies when it comes to physical touch and experimenting with ourselves. And I'm no sex expert or anything like that, but I know younger girls tend to do more of the touching and figuring out. So we, of course, over time have learned how to give ourselves that physical touch that we need. And I am not ashamed to say that I've been in that place in my life where I had to figure out some things, girl, because I ain't know. Okay. Yeah. I didn't know needs and wants. So when we talk about physical touch and being able to figure out what your personal needs are, it's totally different when you join up with somebody else, because then you are able to communicate and reciprocate what you like, right? Because ain't nobody trying to be out here having no boring sex. Like, come on. Can we just be real?
Can we be real? That's a fact. And it doesn't even always have to be sex. Like, physical touch could be a form of intimacy. Like, you know what I mean? Yeah. And that's for me, that's the most important part to any relationship, the intimacy in it. So yeah, I totally agree.
Right. Can we be real? There are because I like that Jennifer hit that, because there are non-sexual actions that can happen, right? And there's so many. Like, I recently was actually sending my hubby this, like, oh, these are my non-sexual things that I love. And it was just like smell, confidence, charisma. Those were my 3, right? So, it's just what works for you, or being fashionable, right? There are non-sexual things that physical,
Mm-hmm.
So yes, when we talk about, I just want to go back into the physical touch because y'all know I'm just so corny, and I just find it funny. And it's like, for the partner, it says hug and kisses and cuddling, and physical neglect. Things to avoid is physical neglect or abuse. So when we talk about physical touch with ourselves, I think we have to definitely touch on the neglect and the abuse, right? Because you can, I don't care what nobody says, you can neglect yourself and you can abuse yourself. Okay. So, how do you go about not doing that? Right. And that deals with you finding time for you and making sure that you are taking care of you physically, right? Taking care of your body. I always talk about this, taking care of your body. Girl, if you need a bath, take a bath. If your skin is looking crazy and you know it, start some skincare. Physical. Hello. Right, Jen?
That's
What do you
absolutely true.
what do you
That's
think?
actually that's the one of I couldn't agree more. I think it's important for you to first discover what your love language is, no matter what it may be, and then try to find little things that you like to do that can appease that, right? So you were talking about running bubble baths. Like that's actually one of my love languages. And I tell you all the time about how many times I take a bubble bath. Like I'll squeeze it in
Yeah.
before I got to go to work. Like because that's just a time for you to just sit there, you get to soak. I like to put some Epsom salt, I light a candle. Like I make it really romantic because this is me understanding like, you know, getting that sense of like passion that I'm looking for because I am single, ain't nothing wrong with it. But this is just me being able to like do something romantic for myself, right?
Right.
So I get to have the time to meditate and also just do something. Girl, I put some rose petals in there sometimes, like just
Ooh.
because why
Right.
not? Like, why not do things like that? Because if I was dating someone, that's something that I would do for them to make them happy.
Yeah.
So it's important for you to understand the things that you like, no matter what it may be, and just try to move and do those things to satisfy yourself because that's building yourself up. Right. And that's the most important thing that you need to do so that you could present your best self to everybody else. So you need to do that self-care no matter what it may be.
Yes. I want to definitely make sure that we try to hit all five of the affirmations because I want everyone to understand how it deals with self. But when I'm sorry, I said affirmations. I meant to say
Love
self
languages.
love languages. Yes. Thank you. Yeah, cuz I'm jumping all the way to affirmations because that's one of my self love language is affirmations, and I push affirmations all the time. Okay, so every Monday we post a picture of ourselves and we put 5 words of affirmations, okay? And I noticed that it's been making me feel real good about myself, and it also, along with my self-care, I also do self-love affirmations. So, a girl be extra with the affirmations. That is my thing. So, even if no one affirms me, girl, I affirm myself first. So I get up in the morning and I look at myself in the mirror and I say, you're beautiful, you're strong, you're talented, you're creative, you're going to be somebody, you're going to do this, you're going to do that. And I drill it into my brain. What's one of your self love languages?
One of my self-love languages. I spoke a little bit on it earlier. So just taking the time to do things that I like is I am very I'm very all over the place. Bubble baths, I like tea time. Just taking a moment to find center and clarity is important for me. So anything that allows me the space to just be calm and just relax my mind is important for me. So just being able to be in a sense of meditation,
Mm-hmm.
anything that, whether it's art, whether I'm painting, drawing a bath, I'm just relaxing, just meditating, listening to some music. That's important for me because, like I said, life has a lot of highs and lows. And for a person like me that deals with heavy anxiety, like just being able to have that calm moment, it's very important for you to be able to, you know, keep things in balance. So meditation is one thing that's important for my love language.
Yeah. So would you say that that's quality time? Like the painting, the bath time, would you call that quality time?
Definitely would call it quality time.
Okay. And just to give you guys a definition of quality time, it says uninterrupted and focused conversations. One on one time is important. It creates a special moment. It creates special moments to yourself, small things with It says partner, but we're saying with yourself. Okay. Small things with yourself. So, yeah, I definitely feel like that is a quality time thing. Now, girl, acts of service is my love language. Acts of service.
Mm,
Okay. And it says here that acts of service is when you do something special, right? Letting, it says, letting them know that you want to help or lighten the load. So, how do you lighten the load for yourself and show that you want to make sure that you want to help yourself? How do you do something like that, Jen?
I'm sorry. Can you say that again? You were delayed.
It's okay. I was saying that acts of service. It says that you let you. It's let them know you want to help. Acts of service is letting the person know that you want to help. So when it comes to yourself, how do you lighten the load for yourself when you do acts of service?
Hmm. That's a good question.
Well, while you think about that, let me throw in some for myself. I definitely make sure that I create the schedule. Recently, we talked about that.
Hmm.
I was talking about scheduling and making sure that I'm more structured throughout my day. It helps me lighten the load because I'm getting tasks done in an orderly fashion. It lightens the anxiety for myself, you know.
Hmm.
And acts of service is also like a way of self-serving yourself. So I like to treat myself sometimes to something special in the moment that is like more gratifying service wise. I don't know if that makes sense. Like I like to, for instance, creating the podcast, right? To me, I like to come on here and share some gems, right? So sometimes that is an acts of service for me, right? For myself. So, what do you think is one acts of service? How does it fall under the umbrella for you?
Um, hmm. That's tough because actually we were talking about scheduling yesterday when well, the last time we recorded for the podcast, we were talking about my need to keep a calendar and keep things in order for it to help with all that. So, that's something that probably would help with my anxiety and, me being all over the place. So, um, gem for sure. But something that I would say that I do in order for me to, active service that I do in order for me to stay focused or, um, in order for me to move on I like to write everything down. Like I'm very, like, even if it's been told to me a million times, like I like to do sticky notes. I like to take notes. Like I'm very, and I'm kind of organized in that manner. Like if you're giving me information or something that you want me to really understand, I like to put sticky notes where it'll be presentable for me, write notes down, taking, how I receive it so that way I can get an understanding of what needs to be done, things like that. So that's what I would do for me to, stay on top of things.
That sounds really good. I like that idea. Writing is very important. Girl, I think that when you write, things just feel better because you can see it. Some of us are visual people. We need to write it down so we can see what's really happening and get some
Yeah.
order going on. So I completely understand that.
Right. That's the start of making an idea a real thing. You need to write it down in order for you to make it
Mhm.
real.
So another acts of service for myself is going for a walk. I love to go for a walk. I think that's an act of service for myself. So I be out and about, moving, walking around, making sure that everything is good for me, clearing up my mind, just being focused. You know what I'm saying? I have to be focused on me. And girl, I'm one of those people that love doing chores. It is like my therapy moment. And that is just an act of service for myself. When my house is in order, I have like, I don't know, it's like zen, clear space, open. I can think. Girl, ain't nothing like when you wash your sheets and you change out all them sheets on the bed and they smelling good and you get in that bed, it's feeling like a brand new bed, girl. Listen, I no, for real, girl. Ain't
I know exactly
nothing
what you
like
mean. Trust me, I get it.
And you in that bed feeling real good. You comfortable. I'm like, yes, yes. That's an acts of service for myself.
Mm-hmm.
I love a tidy house. People think I'm crazy every time they hit me up. They're like, what you doing? I'm like, I'm cleaning because it's honestly like a therapy for me. I feel good when it's done. Girl, yesterday I organize my closet every week. I'm a hot mess. But I did it again yesterday because I'll be getting ready for church and destroy the whole closet that morning. That's really me.
Sounds about right.
So yesterday I was like, okay, I'm gonna reorganize my closet again. And I literally like, I have folding areas where things are folded and I reorganize shirts with shirts, color coordinating now. I'm fancy. Okay. And I was like, oh, it feels so good. I just stood in my closet for like a good 5 minutes. Like, this is nice.
Mm-hmm. The little things in life, right? Adulting.
Right. Adulting sucks. But hey, that it felt good. It felt
Mm.
good. So girl, we hit it. So we did acts of service. We talked about physical touch. You talked about quality time, which was cool. Quality time for me is really just shutting everything off as of lately. Just shut it down. Y'all gonna hear that all season. Shutting it down, shutting it off, shutting off my phone, everything, and just having a second because now my life is really about being connected, and being connected sometimes can be very consuming. So I just want to shut everything down.
Mm-hmm.
That's quality time. And I ain't gonna lie, I've been trying to pick up some books lately. I've been trying to take a trip to the library since COVID. Now the library is open. There are a few books that I want to jump into, and I'm gonna share those books with y'all later on, but not yet, not yet. I'm thinking about starting a little book club or something.
Ooh, I
Talk
love
about.
it.
Yeah, I want us to be able to talk about some things. And there's a new book out. Yo, there are a few books, but let me tell y'all, if y'all don't follow SJR, that is Sarah Jakes. Listen, Sarah Jakes Roberts is my girl, okay? And she came out with a book recently, and it's from her Women Evolve group. But I'm gonna just throw the plug in because the book is about breaking up with your fears. And listen, y'all gonna need to get that book. I All right, moving on. Get the
I'm
book.
gonna add that to my Audibles list.
Yes. Add it. Yes. Breaking up with your fears. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Women Evolve, breaking up with your fears. Get on that book. All right, girls. So we talked about words of affirmation, physical touch, receiving gifts. Oh, we didn't talk about receiving gifts. Receiving gifts. Yes. What does receiving gifts look like for you, girl? Do you go and blow $100 in yourself? Is $100 a lot of money?
Girl, receiving gifts is me buying groceries for myself. All right, anything is a gift, child. Okay,
Adulting.
I am not fancy. I'm not picky. I'm very grateful, child.
Yeah.
Please,
Adulting at its finest. Okay,
right.
now. Yes.
As long as my bills are paid, I'm good.
Girl, talk about it. Talk about it. For me on a Friday, let me tell you, y'all ever heard? I'll be saying my friends this when we're at work. And a Friday hits and we be like, yo, we about to eat real good. We just got paid. Everybody about to go get some seafood, some shrimp. Some Listen,
scrimps.
I don't even like seafood like that, but I'll eat a shrimp. But yo, that's really what it is, though. Adulting at its finest. When we talk about self-love language, like I just imagine how a grown person gives themselves a gift. Like, how do you receive a gift from yourself? What is it going to look like for you? How are you being thoughtful towards yourself? Is it going to get a pedicure? I mean,
All those Amazon packages that keep getting delivered. Look,
girl.
right?
I know you did not. I know. I hope you ain't calling me out.
I'm just saying. I'm calling myself out too. I'm just keeping it real.
Yo, Amazon, listen, y'all can take all my monies. It's okay.
Amazon Prime too, all of that.
Take my money. It's okay.
2-day shipping, even better. What do you mean?
Girl, I do. Let me tell you, I was petty at one point. Like Amazon in Florida has not been able to do like New York. You get delivery for like food and all that stuff, even toilet paper. Because even that I would order online. I would not bother going to the store, but Florida does not do that. Well, the location that I'm in doesn't do it.
Yikes.
Because I would order and get my toilet paper the next day. Why take a trip to Walmart? Walmart stay packed in Florida.
Always.
It's 24 hours. I'm good. So like when we talk about when we talk about giving ourselves gifts, right? For me, as a grown ass person, I love me a nice bottle of wine. I love that. So I go and buy myself some wine, and I pour myself a drink. So I pour it up. Okay, I get myself a drink, and I enjoy the drink. Okay, you have to. So, in the process of me trying to enjoy my drink, sometimes it deals with me taking myself on a date. That's a gift to myself. But I feel like going on a date by myself can also tie it into quality time, right? I don't
Mm-hmm.
know. You got some girl. Can we talk about it? Since we talking about self, you
What we
got some
talking about?
people. We got some people who don't know how to be by themselves.
Mm,
Yeah,
that's true.
yeah.
This quarantine, if it taught you anything, it should have been the importance of just staying to yourself and, figuring yourself out. And I mean, if you don't know how to be to yourself, it is tough because some people are just so accustomed to jumping from, not only relationship to relationship, but there's kind of like a codependent thing when it comes to people that they gravitate towards. But I think it's important for you to realize who you are alone before you try to define who you are with another person.
Yes, this is for a whole nother podcast, but let's jump into it because I totally agree, Jen. I always say, like, how can you be out here trying to love on somebody else? You want a good man, you better learn how to love you first.
Yeah.
Because when that man, let's hit it. It's not even about when the man wants to love you and he's not loving you the way you want to be loved. You have to understand what that self is first. That self love language that you like from yourself, you're going to have to be able to learn how to communicate that with your man to say, hey, well, my love language is quality time and my love language is acts of service. How do you know? Oh, because I've been giving myself that.
Mm-hmm.
Just let's just be real. You know, you cannot expect a man to love on you if you do not know how to love yourself. I'm just telling the truth. I
Mm-hmm.
You cannot real shit. We try to find fulfillment through people when we need to find the fulfillment through ourselves. What fuels you? It should be you. Yeah, girl. So if you're not being able to love on yourself in a relationship and love on yourself in a self-ship, okay, because that's what I'm calling it, self-ship. It should be a word, just like they can add selfie and finna in the Urban Dictionary. They need to add self-ship in the dictionary. How about that? A self ship, okay? Being in a relationship with yourself. So if you're not able to have a relationship with yourself, you cannot have a relationship with other people. Point blank, period, okay? Period. And that's on that. And that's on that. I think, and somebody says, and that's on Mary Had a Little Lamb. Yeah.
I don't know if you
Nobody.
did it.
I was waiting for you to say, and that's on Mary Had a Little Lamb. You was like, nah, we not doing that.
No. No, we don't do those.
Oh gosh. So guys, if you don't know what a love language is, because I want to make sure that I give you guys the definition. A love language is verbal languages that are used to communicate our ideas to one another. There are different languages used to express our love and affection to each other. This is just relevant for friendships and parenting as it is for romantic relationships. And in addition to self ships, because that's what I'm adding. Okay. It says it talks about the different types of love languages, and I want to make sure that we all understand the definition. Physical touch goes from holding hands to sitting next to each other and sexual intimacy. And I think that when it comes to physical touch with self, I think that you can do all of these things with yourself, and I don't see why it's not doable. You can hit that. Words of affirmation, loving on yourself every day, telling yourself that you are amazing and that you have willingness to do whatever you need to do in your life, okay? And gifts, giving yourself beautiful gifts, something small, something big. It could be something simple as a can of soda, it could be something as simple as a piece of candy, but that's for you, okay? Acts of service, which is my love language in my relationship. That is my huge love language. But acts of service when it comes to yourself, doing something that you love for you and treating yourself to that thing, okay? If it is doing laundry and you feel comfortable with laundry, or giving or doing your chores around the house, or washing the dishes, or whatever it is. We want to make sure, okay, guys. I think I explained these love languages as much as I could. Quality time. Take a damn nap. How about that? And that's on that, y'all. Have some quality time with your bed. Y'all, listen, I hope that you actually think about what your self-love language is, okay? If I had any takeaway tonight, my whoa moment is that shit, I need to love on me, sis. Okay?
Yes, girl.
I need to develop a self-ship. What about you?
The same. I am just going to continue to love on myself and find new ways to love on myself, do different things that I have never discovered that I wanted to do for myself and with myself. So,
yes,
there we have it.
Yes, Jenny, I love it. Guys, I love you guys so much. Listen, we are trying to build a community of people, of beautiful women like yourselves. And we would love for you guys to follow us on the Cultivate Her podcast on Instagram. Also, Women of Empowerment. This podcast is brought to you by Women of Empowerment, okay? You can follow us at WOEINC. And if you really love me and Jen, and you love Cultivate Her, and you are our Cultivate Her sister, what you'll need to do is definitely comment below, comment on this podcast, show us some love, give us some hearts. This is how we get out there. This is how we show that, listen, our content is good content, and that we're willing to help build other women, okay? We want other women to be able to reach this information and be able to benefit from it, because who doesn't need self-love? Let's be real, right? We're trying to help you cultivate your life. Now tap in and comment below. Give us a 5-star. Subscribe to our YouTube channel, okay? Women of Empowerment. All right? Thank you guys so much. We see you guys next week. Deuces.